We'd been paddling for it was probably like, I don't know, 15th day we were paddling, so we'd gone through some difficult times already. The physical challenges Dan has, I was incorporating in our paddling, and I was trying to work around that as best as I could to keep us safe and balanced on the boat. If we
fell out, balance, right?
No, Dan had to put the paddle in front of him. Dan can do it. It just is, ask any paddler, that takes the strain. You have to just keep putting in front. And you get tired. I get tired. I don't want to. I want to just put it next to me. And with Dan's balance issues, he needed to put the paddle in front of him so we stay balanced, so he doesn't put the paddle on the side and fall over. And maybe 2-3 hours into that day, we had a strong tailwind. For the guys who also paddle, a tailwind in the sea is lovely because you can go a lot faster, sometimes double your speed. So I was trying to use this to our advantage, and we fell out. I practiced, and that's one thing I was hard on Dan with when we were in South Africa, saying learn how to get back into the boat. Don't listen to all the theorists out there. You know, I've done adventure. I know what the most important thing is. Never let go of the boat and get back into it as quickly as you can. The most important thing, and we practiced that a lot. And we just we fell out on the right-hand side of the boat. I brought the boat back up to onto its hull again. I swam around quicker than Dan did. Dan went around the front of the boat. I got into the boat and sat, and Dan was moving around the front of the boat. The wind was gusting. It was white water spraying, huge swell, and Dan let go of the boat, and literally, from him being like 3-4 meters away from me, the boat went 1 meter, 2 meter, 5 meters, 20 meters. And you just imagine, like this, I've got to suddenly now make decisions. The boat now is popped up like this, so it's sticking into the wind. Gale force winds coming from my left-hand side, catching that nose, and I've got to throw my legs in, get his paddle, and this takes time. It seems quick. It takes time to get the paddle out of the water, put his paddle in so we don't lose it, get my paddle, then start paddling and try with the rudder, because the steering was at the back of the boat, to turn the boat into the wind. It was impossible. I couldn't do it. I was keep on looking at Dan. By this time, I'd paddled past him, and he was drifting behind me, but now I couldn't see him in the swell after about a minute. And then he was gone, and then I didn't know where he was, but I had some idea. We had paddled along about 1.5 kilometers away from these cliffs, so I had an idea where we were geographically away from land. And in Madagascar, I'd done it. My boat was a heck of a lot shorter, but this time I just decided that I was going to swing, run down with the sea again, try get speed and momentum, and then take this big boat with the nose sticking up like this and swing it around into the wind, which I didn't think I'd be able to do. The wind was too strong. It was about 60, 70 kilometers an hour. And sure, I turned. Now you can imagine, theoretically in my mind's saying, when I'm pushing with the rudder to turn towards Dan, I feel I'm doing something. Now I'm making a decision to turn the boat away from him. He's behind me. I've lost total sight of him. And I'm trusting myself that I'm going to do something that's going to get back to him. So I'm running, trying to get a nice little wave where I can run just over the wave and then turn along it. Because in that momentum, it hides me from the wind and I get over it. I ran down. I thought I was going to fall out and just turned the boat into the wind. And now I was just balancing in that wind so the gust wouldn't take it. And then I paddled, and then I kept the cliffs again, 1.5 kilometers away from me, had no sight of Dan, and it was probably 3 minutes about there. Seems like a little, but it was a very long time, eh? Yeah. And if I tell you I was paddling with determination, my head was down and I was gritting it out. I was saying, I don't care how slow you're going. My GPS was reading slow. I was going maybe 2 kilometers an hour, 1.5 kilometers an hour, and I was saying, just keep going. And got going, and then I said to myself, are you kidding yourself? You think you're going to look for him in a little area of 10 meters by 10 meters. You're not even going to look for him in an area of 50 meters by 50 meters. You're not even going to look for him in an area of 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer, because I don't know where the current's taken him. I don't know where I ran down with the sea, and I don't know where I've turned now. In theory, I have some idea, but that's why people don't get found at sea, because you can't pinpoint an area. So, yeah. And that was the point, where I haven't spoken much about it, but the point was that I was now paddling, saying to myself, yes, you fool yourself. You're good at this, Riaan. You'll fool yourself. You're paddling so determined as if you're going to find him. And I was scanning a small area, about 30 degrees, 35 degrees, scanning. So I wouldn't have to look everywhere else. Just all I wanted to see. You can see in the pictures of Iceland, there's a bright yellow suits, and I thought I'd get a glimpse of it, and then I didn't. Oh, man, and then it was the moment which I didn't think I'd have to come. It was reality. I didn't think it would come. I just said to myself, who am I going to phone tonight? Because you're not going to find this guy. You're not going to find him. Who are you going to phone tonight? And then I went through his family. I said, should I phone Alvin? Should I phone his mom? And I said, no, not a chance, man. Should I phone Andy? And I said, no, he's the youngest brother. I can't phone him. And I said, I'm going to have to phone Bob, because Bob and I had sat many times before and just chatted about that. And he said, hey, taking Dan with. And he said, don't worry, you're the right guy. I thought, tonight I phoned Bob. And then I practiced what I was going to say to him. I was going to say to Bob, Bob, and he wouldn't want to hear from me, and he would hear it in my tone and all that. You can imagine. I was going to say to him, Dan's not coming home alive. Imagine that. I can tell you one thing, I wouldn't be sitting in this chair with you now. If Dan didn't come home alive with me, I wouldn't be doing any interviews. So there I was, absorbing that responsibility, life on my shoulders that I'd blabbed about on radio and on TV, and for once I was realizing what it really meant. And I still said, what can you change over here? You can't change the situation, but you can keep paddling. I kept paddling and kept paddling. And then on the corner of my eye, about 90 degrees, I caught a glimpse of the yellow suit bopping up. And I thought, first of all, that I had imagined it. And I didn't even look in front of me. And I didn't care if the kayak was going to go. And I just stared. And I just saw it bop up again. And Dan was just in the water with his arms up, like just floating. And he wasn't concerned. He wasn't shouting. He wasn't doing anything. Just floating in the sea. And then I had to, okay, and the guys, you'd think it was over. It wasn't actually. I had to go past him. I had to choose a time. I've never done this. I had to go past him, trusting my instincts again, and go around him. Then once I've turned the nose now, again against the wind, there's no way I'm going to turn it back. I have to hedge my bets and say, Dan's over there, throw my legs over the side, put my paddle down, and just hope that the wind and the direction I've chosen is going to go just 30 centimeters past him so that he can catch onto the boat. And the boat hit him hard. And I know I was maybe slightly off, but the boat hit him very hard. He held onto the boat. And if you think I'm going to feel sorry ever in my life for how harshly I spoke to Dan, that moment, because we had trained so hard for him to never, ever, ever, ever let go of the boat, I'll never apologize in my life. Dan needed to understand what life and death meant. And I still don't know if he really understands, sort of what happened that day, but I definitely know that I do. And was I willing to give my life? I was, because I was going to keep on paddling until I died.